Hello, beautiful people. It is Sunday. It's noon. Oh my gosh. Hold on. My neighbor's tree. My neighbor's tree cracked off. Oh my gosh. Like they were planning to. Oh my gosh. I need to text them. Okay. Give me 1 minute. Dang, part of me was like, do I text them? Because they're gone to church right now and I didn't want to cause distress. But by the grace of God, this tree didn't fall on my house, the other side neighbor's house. Praise the Lord. I don't know if it happened before I left for church. I didn't really look out. I didn't really scan the front yard this morning, I guess. Okay. Anywho, it's just afternoon. It has been a taxing week on the work side, but I had a friend stay with me a couple nights this week, so God stopped me on that. Worked out really well because I could come home from work and kind of chat with her about it, and that was really nice. And then yesterday did some fall things. I finally picked up a few pumpkins, not all of them, but just a few pumpkins, a big one, a big roundy one for the front stairs, and then 2 little ones that I'll show you in a little bit for inside. But today I just need to catch up on chores because yesterday I hung out with my friend until 3, and then I had a Halloween party that I was bartending for, mixologisting for, and so I didn't get much done yesterday. I have laundry to fold, thankfully. Thankful to Saturday morning Rachel that did laundry, so now I just have to fold that. I would like to bake some maple scones today, so we'll do that. It's finally feeling like fall, and so I want to put some weather stripping, some foam weather stripping around my doors because there's a lot of air loss at my doors. And then I don't know if I'll do it today with you guys, but some caulking around my window trim. Just everything to help insulate the house because I know I can feel drafts. I can feel the drafts when I get by the doors, and that's costing me money because my furnace has to run more frequently. And then there's just a little bit of chaos in the kitchen, and so we're gonna tidy. I've been listening to Dracula on audiobook, and I've been enjoying that. And so maybe we'll listen to some audiobook. I will. You guys will probably be on a time lapse during that time. Put some comfort YouTubers on, and we'll see where the day takes us. So first things first, I'm gonna get out of my church outfit into something super comfy, and then we'll get on with our day. I'm sorry to report that the kitchen is in a bit of a state, so we're gonna get through it together. That is wet, so that will need to dry out. Ugh. Last night's cocktail ingredients to put away. Weather seals. I might be filming a short for Halloween mocktail versions of the Halloween cocktails I made. I'm not super excited about it right now, but I'm not going to completely write it off just because I'm not in the most chipperest of moods. So these will go with the cocktail stuff for now. I also need to strip the bed and the guest room of those sheets, so that's super easy laundry into the washer, into the dryer. Don't have to hang anything. Plug this into charge because we're at 6%. I already ran mow this morning, which means you guys will encounter a vlog without the little robot vacuum sound in the background, so we love to see that. I'm gonna run a few things down the basement. unpack a couple of my Halloween cocktail glasses. We have the bats. And the pumpkins. I think the bat one will go back in its box after Halloween, but I think the pumpkin one may stay through November. I took sugar to the Halloween party yesterday because one of the drinks is a vampire kiss. It's a martini and it has a red sugar rim around it. So had some leftover undyed sugar. For mocktails, I wasn't sure what to put in place of vodka and I didn't want to purchase a zero proof vodka. So I was doing some research on can you use still water for mocktails in place of vodka? And they're talking about it's like a lower sodium, lower mineral content, because minerals give water flavor. So you want something that has a little bit less mineral content. Can't remember exactly, but Voss was one of the recommendations and it had like a velvety mouthfeel. So I was able to prove that one of the drinks was the Black Widow, which is a cranberry vodka, but it uses black vodka and you float the vodka on top of the cranberry juice so it's layered. And I was like, well, will water float on top of vodka? And then I'm like, do you even want a watery cranberry juice? And my friend who was visiting this week said that what makes you able to layer things is the sugar. And so I'm like, oh, well, water has no sugar, cranberry juice has some sugar. And so I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna work, but it did. The Voss floated on top. And then I also got club soda and I'm gonna see if club soda will float on top of cranberry juice. So if you want, I will just say that this water mixed with the cranberry juice was actually really pleasant, surprisingly. But that's what this bougie water is for. I have the pumps for the 3 syrups I bought, but because I'm measuring the syrups, I don't need the pumps, and now I'm like, what do I do with these? Do I throw them out? Do I keep them? I have a little simmer pot going here. And there's a whole lemon because I needed the juice of it. No crooked, per usual. Water, lemons, because that flemmer? I don't even know where I was going with that. The smell comes from the lemon oil, which is in the rind. So if you just do like lemon wheels, that's fine. But if you have like a whole lemon that you've juiced and you just cut it in half, just put it in there with the cut side facing up, get all that lemon oil accessible, and then some dried thyme because I didn't have fresh thyme, and then some vanilla extract, and it smells really nice. And it's subtle enough that it doesn't like give you a headache, and that might be because it's natural fragrance versus synthetic. We got the kitchen in decent shape. I still need to clean the stove at some point because I did marinated skirt steak on Friday, and it's very spitter-spattery, so there's lots of grease on part of the stove that I would like to get cleaned up. But let's check the cookbook and see about those scones and what we need to do and what we need to get ready. Maple oatmeal scones. Okay, preheat oven to 400. In the bowl of an electric mixer, we're doing this by hand. For reference, this recipe calls for a whole pound of butter. 4 whole sticks. Ina goes big or goes home. Okay, so, oh shoot, that would be nice to have a stand mixer. Blend the cold butter into the flour mixture. Oh, you're cutting it in to make pea-sized things. These aren't really hard to make. So you mix together flour, oats, baking powder, sugar, and salt. You blend in the cold butter until it is a sandy pea-sized pieces, crumbly. Combine the buttermilk, maple syrup, and eggs and add that to the butter and flour mixture and mix until it's just blended. The dough may be sticky. We'll dump it out, we'll roll it out, we'll cut 3-inch rounds, place them on a pan, top them with egg wash, bake for 20 to 25 minutes. And then we're gonna glaze them. We're gonna combine powdered sugar, maple syrup, and vanilla. We're gonna cool the scones for 5 minutes and then drizzle them with the glaze. And then Ina likes to sprinkle some uncooked oats on top for garnish. The warmer the scones when you glaze them, the thinner the glaze will be. That makes me think I'd want to cool them a little bit more than 5 minutes, because maybe I'll just start, first time I make them the way Ina does. She waits 5 minutes, I'll wait 5 minutes, and we'll see how thin the glaze is. But this is what Ina's look like. So, since I don't have to bring the butter to room temperature, we can go ahead and make these. Actually, I need to eat first, else I'll get a little grouchy. So let's have a snack. I'm curious to know, am I just naive about this? So I texted my neighbors, and I'm like, I don't know if you know, there's a downed tree in your front yard. And they're like, yeah, like what a blessing that it didn't come down on anyone's house. And they said the police called them. And I'm like, I wasn't expecting the police, like it wasn't in the road or anything. So I'm like, I was surprised by that. And then they said that they were going, like the police were going to come and they were gonna do an incident report. And I'm like, is this what you're supposed to do? Because like, if that were my dad, he would just get the chainsaw out and cut the tree up. So I'm like, are you supposed to report an incident? Maybe it's like for an insurance thing. Maybe it's, I don't know. I'm very curious. Okay, here's today's snack. I had a leftover half of a steak quesadilla this morning for breakfast, and the place I went to, like when I think of a steak quesadilla, I'm like lots of cheese, some meat. This was like lots of meat, some cheese. And so I got lots of protein this morning, and I'm not super hungry right now. So I'm going to be having some celery and carrots and dill dip, and then some chips and salsa. And I'm going to watch. Upanga is one of the YouTubers that I really like. She's super cozy. She's a mom. She has a 2-year-old little girl. She doesn't really show the little girl's face for privacy reasons, but she does like, it's mostly like a little bit of cooking, some cleaning, some like family stuff, sometimes like a little shopping. And she's so lovely. So her real name is Candy, but her channel name is Upanga. And so she's very cozy. So I'm going to watch a little bit of that, and then we'll just do something. I was just starting to dread cutting in a full pound of butter for those scones. Then I decided I could cut the butter into teeny tiny cubes before putting it in with the flour, and that will save me so much time and energy. I'm going to make a coffee, and then I think we'll get ready to make the scones, and I'm gonna film it for my other YouTube channel, Recipes with Ray. And I think today's gonna be a faceless video, just because I'm not feeling it. It takes a little extra energy to show your face. So it's just gonna be, I'll have you guys watch, but I'm gonna film with my other camera, and it's gonna be great. Either way, it's gonna be great. Do you like my ghost towel? I think it's cute. All right, let's get started. I have made a maple latte, delicious, iced. Today we're making maple oatmeal scone. Heat your oven to 450 degrees. We need 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of whole wheat flour, 1 cup of quick oats, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of white sugar, and 2 teaspoons of kosher salt. I'm currently out of kosher salt. I'm just gonna add 1 teaspoon, 1 1/4. My kosher salt is in larger granules, and I have fine sea salt today. Mix that together. I'm a little nervous about this next part because we're going to be adding 1 pound of butter. Now make sure your butter is cold. I'm just gonna go in with my hands. This needs to be mixed until you have pea-sized pieces. Next, we need to combine buttermilk, maple syrup, and eggs. So in a medium bowl, I'm just gonna use my butter bowl. Ina's recipe calls for 4 extra large eggs. I'm gonna use 5 large eggs. If you don't have buttermilk, combine a splash of vinegar, white vinegar, or lemon juice with milk to make a full 1/2 cup. And let that sit for a few minutes and it will sour. And remember, we want to keep everything as cold as possible. And then a 1/2 cup of pure maple syrup. Okay, that doesn't have to be perfectly combined. Add that to our butter flour mixture. We're going to mix this until just blended. Okay, until just combined. The dough may be sticky. I'd say so. Okay, we're going to get ourselves a well-floured surface. I'm very concerned. We're gonna flour our hands. We're gonna flour a rolling pin that I don't have. I used to have a wine bottle and I think I recycled that. I'm really worried about this, guys. So this is supposed to be 3/4 to 1 inch thick. This feels way too sticky to me. I don't think I did enough mixing in the first step. I think that's where we're at. I think the butter got too warm. We need 3-inch circles that we're going to place on a parchment lined baking sheet. We're just gonna see how these go. I am worried. Guys, I don't know what's going on. These are so soft. I might put these back and add more flour because I just don't think there's enough holding them together. The dough may be sticky. The dough is sticky, crazy sticky. This is like a batter, not a dough. This is clearly too soft, so we're gonna add more flour. I can see the first batch is already pancaking. I also forgot the egg wash. Maybe this one will be fine. This feels a better texture. We'll get the egg wash on these. The other ones are gonna be for home. I'm sure they'll taste fine, but this one's just for you guys. This one is not going on the Recipes with Ray YouTube channel. Not happening. Too much chaos. Too much chaos, and we're not trying to ruin the day. So since I forgot the egg wash, we're gonna make the egg wash with an egg and a tablespoon of water or milk. The first batch is almost done, and though they've pancaked a little bit, I think they're gonna be okay. Still not putting that video up on the Recipes with Ray YouTube channel. It's just a reminder that I really should try recipes for the first time before I film them to upload them. So just a reminder for myself. So this is how the first batch turned out. They're gonna cool for 5 minutes. In the meantime, we need to make the maple glaze, which is 1 1/4 cups confectioner's sugar, 1/2 cup maple syrup, 1 teaspoon vanilla. And confectioner's sugar is just powdered sugar. I'm gonna whisk this smooth. Very sweet. I don't think I let them cool long enough. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Let's put way too much water in this. All right, second batch, egg wash, back to the oven. We're gonna sprinkle some oats on top. Hopefully it sticks a little bit to the glaze. I should have done this right after the glaze went on. I think I glazed them too soon. The glaze just kind of falls right off. Hey, second batch, interestingly, pancake scone batch. Second batch. They held their shape, but they cracked on top. So that might be a little too much flour, but we're gonna wait the 5 minutes and then put the maple glaze and sprinkle some oats on top. Then I have thoroughly frustrated myself and I'm doing a lot better. It's fine. I think they're still gonna taste good. Now we know. I don't know what we know. Maybe we need an electric mixer for this one because I think time is of the essence to keep all of your ingredients cold. Anywho, once these are cooled a little bit, have the glaze on top, I think we'll go for a WALK. It's stopped raining. The sun is trying to peek through the clouds, and I think that will be very good for me and the dog. And so we'll go enjoy the cool fall breeze through our hair that's up. So it doesn't matter. It'll be nice. First, I'm gonna try one of the pancake scones. Not a whole one. Very biscuity inside. It tastes like a pancake with maple syrup on it. It does have that typical dryness that a scone kind of does have, making it really good to have with coffee or tea. I should not have doubted Ina. Those are worthy enough for me to take to work tomorrow like I planned. Let's go glaze the other ones. The walk was great. I went for a nice long walk. You're crooked as usual. Crooked. Yes, and now I would just like to sit and do nothing. However, I just vacuumed the couch. I sat down for a few minutes and I started watching a vlog. I am going to try, sorry about the dishwasher noise. I'm not gonna eat a whole one, but I wanna try the second batch. Okay, they look more like rolls than biscuits. In America, what's the difference? I'm not sure. No, the texture is quite similar. I thought they'd be way too dry. These are delicious. Okay, I think both will go to work tomorrow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not everyone's gonna eat one, and I'll bring those two, the ugly ones, but they still taste delicious. Yum. Okay, I'm gonna finish eating this. It's 4:15. I'm going to reheat some skirt steak that I made on Friday with the leftover roasted carrots and potatoes that I made with it. I'm gonna have that, let that settle for a minute, and then we'll clean up the guest room. I tell you what, I think she can smell things a mile away. She just came running from the couch into the kitchen. This is not for you, little girl. I know, sad, very sad. So sad. I think that's all I need for now. I personally am not a, like, would you say that one is like medium rare? I'm not a medium rare steak person, but when I reheat it, it gets more to medium, which is more my style. All right, now that I've had a moment to myself, we can strip the sheets off the guest bed and throw them in the wash. See how easy was that? I gave you guys a peek, but here's one of my little pumpkins. And here's the other one. Isn't his stem adorable? And they're real. We have real pumpkins. So cute.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird.